Well, hi there. Welcome to this week's episode of Canadian Profits TV. It's episode 103. And what do we got in store for you? For our business breakthrough, I want to talk to you about how to differentiate yourself. Differentiation. For our real estate tip, we're going to be talking about opportunities with orphan mortgages. What the heck's an orphan mortgage? Stay tuned. I'll tell you what it is. And for our Mindset Minute, I want to see if you're on track with your 2013 goals. Stay tuned. Okay, so for today's business breakthrough, I want to talk a little bit about differentiation. And what is that? That is how you make yourself different from all of your competitors. And I've just been reminded about this recently from a few local examples here in Kamloops. One of them is a small local appliance retailer. So you can imagine how tough that would be. You're going up against the Costco's, the Walmarts, the big box stores, all of the big furniture warehouses, all of the big appliance dealerships. And this guy's a small fry in that group. However, he's got a very, very successful business. And one of the key differentiations that he has is something very, very simple. Every day, I believe it's his wife, he might have somebody on staff who does it, every day they bake a fresh batch of cookies. That's right, a fresh batch of cookies. Not big cookies, but little cookies. And they've got them out in their showroom, and everyone who comes in can help themselves to cookies. So they've got cookies, they've got, I think, coffee, tea, some juices out there. But a simple little touch. It's not a box of cookies from the store. It's homemade, fresh cookies every single day. Now, it's little touches like that that make a big difference, because the Walmarts of the world are not going to do that. Costco is not going to do that. Plus all of the personalized service that they have as well. Another example comes from a big company, UPS. One of the things that UPS does is they wash their vehicles, or at least supposedly, they wash their vehicles every single day. Now, does that make them deliver packages any faster or charge less or do anything like that? No, but it is that little extra touch. Their vehicles look sharp, shiny, clean all of the time. Little things add up to make a big difference. One last example, the local Staples delivery guy who used to come here and deliver our stuff here always brought a candy for the receptionist. Little touch, but it made a big difference. So who would the receptionist, the secretary, think of when they needed office supplies? They would think of Staples, just to get that delivery guy to come and give them a candy. Now, I don't know if he was set up with Staples to do that or he did it on his own, but it was a little thing that made a big difference. So it doesn't have to be a lot, but think about in your own business, what kind of little things can you do that can make a big difference and really differentiate you. All right, nobody likes the idea of orphans. However, I'm going to tell you there's a big opportunity in orphan mortgages. What's an orphan mortgage? Well, basically, that is a mortgage that was set up back in the go days before the crash, when banks and lenders were a lot looser with their criteria. So they let folks in who today would not qualify for a mortgage. Now, the problem is some of these mortgage companies no longer exist. So they set up these mortgages, and then they stopped doing loans, stopped doing mortgages. So the mortgages they had set up kept going, but now that it's time to renew, a lot of these folks are finding they can't automatically renew with their original lender because they no longer provide mortgages, and quite often they haven't done what they needed to do to get their qualifications up, to get their credit rating up, etc., to where they can actually go get refinanced with a traditional big bank. And now, as we all know, the big banks and lenders are getting very, very tight with their lending criteria. So what does that mean? That means you've got quite a few folks out there who have a house, who've been making mortgage payments for the last 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. Now it's time for them to renew their mortgages, and they can't get a new one. That's why it's called an orphan mortgage. So where are the opportunities here? Well, the opportunities, there are lots. I mean, you can go in there. I've seen people who are doing rent-to-own deals with these folks. So basically, they will buy the property from the person, turn around, use the equity that the person's already built up in the property as their option fee, and then rent-own it back to them for the next 2 to 3 years while they help them get qualified for a mortgage. Other opportunities in there, some of these folks just basically need to sell their house, need to sell it quickly. There are opportunities there as well. So Take a look at the opportunities that are available to you with Orphan Mortgages. Okay, and for this week's Mindset Minute, now that we're towards the end of February, towards the end of the second month of 2013, how are things going with your goals? Are you on target with your goals? Have you fallen off off the wagon with them already? How many goals did you set for yourself, etc., etc.? Just had an interesting interview with a very contrarian thinker, Philip McKernan. And I asked Philip what he thought about goals and goal setting. He said, hey, for the vast majority of us, it simply doesn't work, so stop doing it. Whew, that's kind of a shocking thing to hear, especially for somebody like myself that's just so accustomed to setting goals and going after them. However, there's a little bit of method in this madness. If you're in a situation where you keep setting goals and you keep failing at them, take a look at it. And what Philip suggests is maybe just step back and focus on one bigger goal instead of a whole gazillion little goals. So put up a bigger goal that is attainable. Go after that instead of trying to chase after a ton of smaller goals. That's your Mindset Minute for this week. All right, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Canadian Profits TV. Big shout out to my mother, Yvonne Dubois, probably my biggest fan out there in Canadian Profits TV land. Mom, happy birthday. Love you dearly. Miss you a lot. And for everybody else, my mom does 6 months living in Canada in Penticton. The other 6 months living near Puerto Vallarta in Mexico. Got a lovely setup there, that's for sure. So anyhow, Mom, happy birthday. Hope you have a great one. I'll talk to you tonight as well on the phone. And for everybody else, what's going on? Well, we've got a free web event coming up on Tuesday, March the 5th that I'm very, very excited about. This is called How to Make 2013 Your Best Year Ever as a Canadian Real Estate Investor. That's a mouthful, but it's going to be a very, very fun, educational web event. Why? Because I've got several of our very best Canadian Real Estate Profits experts on the call. So it's going to be July Ono. We've got Paul Hetch, we've got Paul Black here, we've got myself, plus other special guests on this live free training call. Again, it's going to be on March the 5th, starting at 6 p.m. Pacific. If you'd like to register for that, there's no cost for it. Just go to CanadianProfitsWebinar.com or click on the banner that should be to the right of this as well. So I encourage you to register for that. If you can't make it on the live call, go ahead and register anyhow. That way we'll let you know about the replay when it's up. What else is going on? Diamond members, time is running out to get registered for our upcoming Diamond Cruise. So again, that's diamondcruise.ca. If you're not a Diamond member, click on the button there. We'll show you how you can take a test drive and become one. This is going to be a phenomenal Caribbean cruise right at Easter time. Doesn't get any better than that. Check out the video, what the cruise is all about, at diamondcruise.ca. Thanks a lot. Talk to you next week.